Every holiday season, there's a rush of nostalgia for foods from the past, but some once beloved holiday dishes have completely disappeared, leaving only memories behind. In today's video, we're uncovering 12 classic holiday foods that have faded away forever. Number 1. Eggnog Pie. Eggnog pie brings a nostalgic twist to holiday desserts with its rich, custard-like texture and deep flavors reminiscent of the classic eggnog drink. This pie, which saw popularity surges in the 1960s and 70s, is typically made by blending eggnog with ingredients like eggs, sugar, and sometimes a hint of rum or brandy, enhancing its holiday spirit. Traditional recipes call for baking the mixture into a custard-like filling, poured into a pre-baked pie crust and often topped with a sprinkle of nutmeg, giving it a warm, spiced finish. Modern adaptations lean toward a no-bake version, which makes preparation faster while retaining that creamy texture. These versions often combine eggnog with cream cheese and vanilla pudding, set in a graham cracker crust for a touch of added sweetness and crunch. Some recipes add a touch of vanilla extract, sour cream, or a hint of citrus to balance the sweetness, creating a rich yet slightly tangy profile. Eggnog pie is typically served chilled and topped with whipped cream and a sprinkle of nutmeg or cinnamon for visual appeal and added warmth. The pie's versatility allows it to adapt with variations like a chocolate or caramel drizzle or extra spice layers, making it a unique but adaptable holiday dessert. It's best enjoyed cold and can be refrigerated for up to 5 days or even frozen, preserving its flavor and texture, though the crust may soften over time. While not as common today, eggnog pie remains a festive and flavorful choice for those looking to bring a bit of holiday nostalgia back to the table. Number 2. Mince Meat Pie. Mince meat pie, a rich holiday treat with origins dating back centuries, is often filled with a mixture of dried fruits, spices, and sometimes meat. Traditionally, it included ground beef or venison, but modern recipes generally exclude meat, focusing instead on a blend of raisins, currants, apples, candied citrus, and warm spices like cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg. This combination results in a deep, fruity filling with hints of earthy warmth, giving it a complex, festive flavor. To enhance its richness, mincemeat filling is sometimes soaked in brandy or rum, allowing the flavors to develop over time. In fact, mincemeat fillings are often aged for several weeks or even months to intensify the taste, a process rooted in early English culinary traditions. During the Victorian era, it was common to make the filling far in advance of the holidays, ensuring a robust flavor profile that paired well with buttery pastry crust. Mincemeat pie's popularity surged in the 19th century, especially in England and the United States, where it became a holiday staple. Today, while less common, it's still enjoyed by those seeking a traditional and nostalgic Christmas dessert, evoking the rich holiday flavors of past centuries. Number 3. Ribbon Salad. Ribbon salad was a festive, multi-layered gelatin dish that rose to popularity in the 1950s and 60s, prized for its vibrant colors and dramatic presentation. The salad typically combined layers of flavored gelatin, often strawberry, lime, or orange, with creamy additions like a tangy mixture of cream cheese and mayonnaise. This middle creamy layer balanced the sweetness of the gelatin, creating a contrasting taste and texture that appealed to mid-century tastes. Preparing ribbon salad required precision and patience, as each layer needed to set fully before adding the next. The result was a visually striking dish that could showcase intricate, colorful layers in a glass or mold, making it a centerpiece at holiday gatherings. The salad was often set in a ring mold, then topped with garnishes such as maraschino cherries, pineapple, or whipped cream, which added to its appeal as a retro holiday staple. Ribbon salad's decline came as food trends shifted in the 1980s toward fresh and less processed options, and elaborate gelatin dishes like this one became less fashionable. However, the dish remains nostalgic for many, often appearing at retro-themed events or gatherings that celebrate mid-century American cuisine. Number 4. Beef Wellington. Beef Wellington is a luxurious dish consisting of beef tenderloin coated with a layer of pâté, traditionally foie gras, a finely minced mushroom duxelle, and occasionally prosciutto, all wrapped in puff pastry and baked to golden perfection. Known for its challenging preparation, beef Wellington requires precise cooking techniques, making it both a status symbol and a rare indulgence. Each component has a specific role. The duxelles, a mixture of mushrooms, shallots, and herbs, cooked until dry, enhances flavor and prevents the pastry from becoming soggy. The foie gras pâté adds a rich, buttery depth that balances the tenderloin's natural juices. The origins of beef Wellington are debated. While often linked to Arthur Wellesley, the Duke of Wellington, there's little evidence to support this connection. Instead, it appears to have emerged as an English adaptation of French-style cooking during the 19th century. Its resurgence in mid-20th century America was due to its glamorous presentation and association with fine dining. Yet, as food trends leaned towards simpler and less labor-intensive dishes, beef Wellington became less common on American holiday tables. Despite this, it remains a show-stopping choice for special occasions, demanding attention to detail and cooking skill to achieve its complex layers and perfect finish. Number 5. Tomato Aspic. Tomato aspic, a chilled, gelatin-based dish made with tomato juice, reached peak popularity in mid-20th century America as a fancy addition to formal dinners and holiday gatherings. The dish is prepared by combining tomato juice or pureed tomatoes with gelatin and seasonings, such as salt, pepper, Worcestershire sauce, and sometimes celery, onions, or bell peppers. This savory aspic typically includes vinegar or lemon juice to add acidity, creating a flavor profile that is both tangy and savory. Presentation is crucial for tomato aspic. It's usually poured into decorative molds and chilled until firm, resulting in a striking visual centerpiece. Common garnishes include fresh herbs, mayonnaise, or a dollop of whipped cream, and it's often served on a bed of lettuce with olives or boiled eggs on the side. This elaborate setup added a refined touch to the table in the 1950s and 60s, appealing especially to homemakers who valued presentation. Although once considered a staple of elegant dining, tomato aspic fell out of favor as culinary trends shifted toward fresher, less processed dishes. Its gelatinous texture and distinctive taste have become an acquired taste that many modern diners find unusual. Today, it is largely enjoyed for nostalgia or at retro-themed gatherings, reflecting its status as a quirky piece of American culinary history. Number 6. Crab Rangoon. Crab Rangoon, an appetizer with origins in American Chinese cuisine, combines cream cheese, crab meat, or often imitation crab, and seasonings, wrapped in a wonton and deep-fried to create a crispy, savory treat. Despite its association with Chinese restaurants, crab rangoon isn't authentically Chinese. Instead, it is believed to have been invented in the 1940s or 50s in the United States, with some attributing its creation to Victor Bergeron, founder of Trader Vic's, a Polynesian-inspired restaurant. The filling typically blends cream cheese, crab or imitation crab, scallions, garlic, and sometimes Worcestershire sauce for an umami punch. The wonton is folded into a distinctive star shape, making it both aesthetically pleasing and ideal for dipping. The dish is commonly served with sweet and sour or plum sauce, adding a tangy balance to the rich, creamy filling. Crab rangoon gained popularity as American tastes leaned toward fusion dishes that combine familiar ingredients with exotic presentation. It remains a staple at many American Chinese and tiki-style restaurants, but some diners prepare it at home with custom fillings like sriracha for heat or pineapple for sweetness, adapting the classic to contemporary tastes. Despite its debated origins, crab rangoon remains a beloved, indulgent appetizer in the U.S., often associated with retro dining and Chinese-American cuisine. Number 7. Holiday Plum Pudding. Holiday plum pudding, also known as Christmas pudding, is a dense steamed dessert rich with dried fruits, spices, and often a hearty amount of alcohol like brandy or rum. Contrary to its name, this pudding rarely includes plums. The term plum historically referred to any dried fruit, especially raisins, which are central to the recipe. Traditional plum puddings are packed with a mix of currants, raisins, sultanas, and sometimes chopped dates or figs, combined with spices such as cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg for a warming flavor profile. Preparation typically begins weeks or even months before Christmas, as the mixture needs time to age, allowing flavors to deepen. This aging process is aided by adding spirits to the batter, which not only enhances flavor, but also helps preserve the pudding. Often, a family would stir up the ingredients together on Stir Up Sunday, a tradition where each family member takes a turn stirring for good luck in the coming year. Once cooked, the pudding is often served flambéed, ignited with warm brandy to create a visually stunning effect as it is brought to the table. It's typically garnished with holly and served with accompaniments like brandy butter, custard, or cream. Holiday plum pudding is rich in tradition and still celebrated today, especially in the UK, though it has largely been replaced by lighter, more modern desserts on American holiday tables. Number 8. Jellied cranberry rings. Jellied cranberry rings, a classic holiday dish, are typically made by forming cranberry sauce into circular molds. This presentation, popular in mid-20th century America, became a staple at Thanksgiving and Christmas tables due to its eye-catching appeal and simplicity. The process involved pouring canned cranberry jelly into molds or cutting solidified jelly into ring shapes, which gave a uniform, visually pleasing result that contrasted with savory dishes. These rings, often displayed on a bed of lettuce or garnished with slices of orange, provided both a pop of color and a refreshing tart flavor. The primary ingredient, cranberry sauce, is made by cooking cranberries with sugar until they burst, releasing pectin, which naturally thickens the mixture into a gelatinous texture. Commercially, this was simplified with canned jellied cranberry, which made preparation fast and easy, contributing to its popularity. The tangy, sweet taste of cranberries balanced the richness of other holiday dishes, making it a complementary side. Though iconic, jellied cranberry rings saw a decline as preferences shifted toward more natural textures and fresh ingredients. Homemade cranberry relish, or chutney, now often replaces jellied rings on modern tables. However, for many, the nostalgic charm of the jellied rings still endures as a throwback to classic holiday feasts. Number 9. Holiday glazed ham with pineapple rings. Holiday glazed ham with pineapple rings became a symbol of mid-20th century American holiday celebrations, where presentation was as important as flavor. This dish starts with a large bone-in ham, which is scored and then coated with a rich, sweet glaze. The glaze often features brown sugar, honey, or maple syrup mixed with mustard and cloves, creating a balance of sweetness and spice. Whole cloves are sometimes inserted into the ham to release aromatic oils that complement the sugary glaze, giving the dish its distinctive aroma. Pineapple rings, typically canned, are pinned to the ham using toothpicks, often accompanied by maraschino cherries placed in the center of each pineapple ring for added color and sweetness. This iconic decoration became popular in the 1950s and 60s as its vibrant appearance and bold flavors fit the era's festive and experimental culinary style. As the ham bakes, the sugars in the glaze caramelize, while the pineapple juice seeps into the meat, adding a subtle tang. This results in a ham that is both savory and sweet, with the pineapple rings slightly charred, adding to the overall appeal. Though holiday ham remains popular, this presentation style has faded somewhat as food trends shifted towards simpler, less ornate dishes. Yet for those looking to recreate a vintage holiday spread, holiday glazed ham with pineapple rings is a nostalgic and flavorful choice. Number 10. Coconut Snowballs. Coconut snowballs are a traditional holiday treat with a light, snowy appearance and a rich, chewy texture. Typically, they are made by combining shredded coconut with a creamy mixture of condensed milk and vanilla, which forms a sweet, sticky base. Some variations add a hint of almond extract or rum for extra depth. The mixture is shaped into small, round balls and rolled in finely shredded coconut, giving them a snowball-like appearance that makes them festive and perfect for holiday gatherings. Many recipes suggest chilling the snowballs in the refrigerator to allow them to set, making them easier to handle and giving them a satisfying texture when bitten into. In some versions, the snowballs are enhanced with additions like crushed graham crackers or chopped nuts to add texture, while others include a hidden center of chocolate or cherry for a surprising twist. These treats are popular in colder months and are often prepared without baking, making them convenient to make ahead. Their minimal ingredients and easy preparation make coconut snowballs a nostalgic and appealing dessert that brings a sense of wintertime charm to the holiday table. Number 11, Oyster Street. Oyster stew is a classic winter dish, especially popular around the holiday season in New England and the American South. Traditionally, it's a simple but rich dish made with fresh oysters, cream or milk, and butter, seasoned with a touch of salt, pepper, and often a dash of paprika or celery salt. The origins of this dish trace back to early American settlers who adopted and adapted European seafood stews to fit local ingredients, particularly oysters, which were abundant along the eastern seaboard. Preparing oyster stew involves gently simmering oysters in their own liquor, which enhances the broth's depth, then adding warmed milk or cream to create a smooth, velvety texture. The key to an ideal stew lies in careful timing. Overcooking the oysters makes them tough, so they're often added at the very end to maintain their delicate texture. A garnish of parsley or a dusting of paprika adds visual appeal and a bit of extra flavor. In some regional variations, cooks add vegetables like leeks or celery for a more layered taste. But the essence of this dish remains its minimalistic approach, focusing on the pure flavors of the oysters. Though less common today, oyster stew is cherished as a comforting, nostalgic holiday meal that captures the briny, fresh essence of coastal cuisine. Number 12, Bûche de Noël. The Bûche de Noël, or Yule log, is a traditional French Christmas dessert with deep historical roots and elaborate preparation. This cake represents a symbolic Yule log once burned in European homes to celebrate the winter solstice. Made from a thin sponge cake, it's rolled into a cylinder after baking and filled with either rich buttercream, whipped cream, or ganache. The exterior is then frosted, often with chocolate buttercream, and textured to resemble tree bark using a fork or special tool, adding a rustic, natural appearance. Decoration is essential for the Bûche de Noël. Traditional garnishes include meringue mushrooms, dustings of powdered sugar to mimic snow, and marzipan holly leaves, all intended to create a winter woodland scene. Some variations include chestnut cream fillings or flavored syrups brushed onto the sponge before rolling to add moisture and enhance flavor. Today, while still enjoyed in France and parts of Europe, Bûche de Noël has gained popularity worldwide, especially in gourmet bakeries. Despite its labor-intensive nature, it remains a beloved holiday dessert for its stunning presentation and rich flavor, capturing both festive spirit and culinary artistry.